So we just saw that creating parcels from objects is quite easy. The objects are laid out and of course are properly separated, creating those closed spaces. But when we're doing a subdivision, a lot of times we're doing many lots, hundreds of lots at times. And doing that all manually, creating the objects, it takes some time. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some automated functionality that Civil 3D has that will create many different lots for us quickly, simply by taking some of the criteria we have. And of course, we might have to do some edits, which we'll do afterwards, but it speeds up the process by getting us a good start. So we're going to go ahead and open up our exercise file, parcels by layout. And we see in this drawing, we actually have quite a few parcels already. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And don't forget, 2 more. The roads. This road here, that's 9. And this road here is 10. So ultimately, these are all parcels, including the roads, which we don't count a lot of times as parcels, but Civil 3D does because it's enclosed space. What we're going to do is we're going to subdivide these parcels. So we're going to go to the Home ribbon. Under the Create Design panel, under Parcel, choose Parcel Creation Tools. And notice again that we have the ability to have this little chevron. When we click on the chevron, it provides us the ability to make adjustments. So what we're going to do is we're going to set some criteria. For example, we're going to have 0.25 acres. And notice that I've typed it all together as one word. But when I press enter, it immediately changes over to square feet. Why? Because my ambient settings say that area is square feet. So although it can still read acres, it will always revert back to square feet. Our minimum frontage we'll set maybe to 30 feet. Whether or not to use the frontage and set that minimum frontage at the offset. So some of these jurisdictions that we may work in require that the minimum frontage is measured from the offset. In our case, that's not the case, so we'll say no. But if it was, then of course we'd have to provide that offset. What is the minimum width of our lot? We'll say 30 feet. What is the minimum depth of our lot? We'll say 50. And then of course, is there a maximum depth? We don't want the depth or our property to get too deep. Nice and thin and narrow, but really deep. So we can set all of these different things. What happens also when we have a property that's on a corner? Where do you measure all of these things? How do you provide a solution based upon all these criterias? And so you can choose shortest frontage or smallest area. Now, once you do all this, do you want to automatically create all the parcels? Well, yeah, that'll really speed everything up. This last option is also very powerful. We've set all these criteria. We've said that the minimum frontage is 30 feet. Minimum area is 1/4 of an acre. But we never can hit exactly 1/4 of an acre for all of the lots. So what happens with that extra when it gets to the end? Do you want to create a special parcel just from the remainder that's not going to equal 1/4 of an acre? Do you want to place all the remainder of what's left in the last parcel? So you're going to have 1/4 of an acre parcel and then all the remainder. So it's going to be a really big parcel. Or do you want to just redistribute? So all of your lots are 11,000 square feet or something similar. So we're going to choose to redistribute. So we've made all the settings. So what we're going to do now is choose Slide Line Create. It says, okay, well, I expect you to create some parcels. These parcels are going to be found in which site? Layers and so forth. All of this is good, so we go ahead and click OK. I'm going to close this chevron so we can see, and now it asks us to select the parcel to be subdivided. Now we just mentioned that parcels are open spaces. How can you select the parcel when it's open space? You can't select the segments. Civil 3D recognizes that and so says, if you select the area label, I'll recognize the parcel behind it. So I selected the area label and it says, okay, I know which parcel we're working in now. Select the start point on the frontage for the subdivision. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my object snaps and say I'm starting here. And then it creates a glyph showing us what it considers the frontage based upon the way we pull our cursor. And so this is where our frontage ends. Specify angle. So of course all of our lots we want to be perpendicular from the frontage. It doesn't say so here in the command line, but if you press enter, it recognizes that is perpendicular from the frontage. it presents us a preview of all of the different lots and asks us, do we want to accept the results? Those lots are pretty thin, so I'm going to say no. I'm going to go back to my criteria here. I'm going to say a minimum frontage is 50. Press enter. Close that back down. We'll specify angle of 90 again, and that looks a lot better. And so, again, it's just providing us a preview before we create all these lots that are the wrong size, and we can say, yes, accept the results. And now it's created all these parcels for us automatically. Let's go ahead and finish up. We can do this one more time. We select the parcel by grabbing the area label. We pick the beginning of the frontage. We pick the end of the frontage. Press enter to specify a 90-degree or perpendicular from the frontage to draw our parcels. And it created all those parcels for us. So go ahead and continue through. Go ahead and create all the different parcels for all the lots. And what we'll do in our next exercise is we're going to make some edits to these automated created parcels and just make some tweaks to improve the layout, whether it be for platting purposes or for the shape and layout of our parcels.